Hey everyone, this is Martin, and I'm back here at the video editing desk, and I'm in a new location, if you can tell. And we have moved from the place that we had sold last fall, and are in our temporary homeless shelter, as my wife and I call this. We'll have to explain that to you later. Anyway, today I am going to deal with a question that I see a lot. I hear it some, but I see it a lot on social media, and that is the first half of how do you get started, and then how do you keep things going. And that's from a financial point of view, how do you get started. Specifically this time we're going to talk about buying the land. And but before we get into that, I want to ask you, if you would, to if you've been finding value in any of our videos, or if you've been entertained at the very least, if you could go down below the video here and hit the subscribe button, and tap the notification bell and switch the notifications to on all. And that way you'll get all of them whenever we have something new that comes out there. Anyway, so to get right into this, I end up seeing I'm hearing ice slide off the roof here. We just had a big snowstorm. But whenever we see the question pop up, especially I guess on social media, sometimes in the comments on our video, of how do you get started, a lot of that has to do with financially. How do you actually purchase the land to start with? And every time that comes up, there's always a lot of people that chime in and say, well, you need to pay cash. Whatever you do, don't finance, just pay cash. And is that a good idea? And I guess, in my opinion, the short answer to that, the simplest answer is yes. If you have cash, it's always best to pay cash for something, and not obligate yourself to payments long term. And that brings up sort of two other questions, though, and which are the biggest problems that people have. And trust me, when we first kind of started out with our various real estate buying things, which we have over the years, we've bought residential real estate. We've also bought some commercial, recreational land kind of real estate. And but when we started that whole process maybe 20 years ago, we didn't have cash to pay for anything. I mean, we didn't even have cash, and a lot of times, to even pay down payments. So we had to find very creative ways to finance things. And almost everything that we had, actually everything that we had probably for the first 12 or 15 years, we had to finance one way or the other, just because we simply didn't have the sort of cash to be able to make a cash purchase. And so that is the problem. When you don't have that, you've got to decide, is this something that I want to move on and do, or do I want to spend the next 5, 10, 15, or 20 years trying to accumulate or save back cash so that I am able to purchase with cash the land that I want to get. And with us, that was really not an option. We really strongly wanted to go ahead and move into the recreational land kind of things, and investing into those kind of projects for ourselves. And so financing really was the only option. The second question that kind of comes up with that is, if you don't have cash to buy, maybe you do, but do you want to, is that going to deplete your reserves to the point where you can't do anything, or you're not prepared for any kind of emergency expense that you hadn't counted on? And so with those two factors of not having cash or not having really enough to be able to leave yourself a cushion, is it a good idea to pay cash? And if you're the kind that looks at, from here into the future and says, well, things are going to crash at some point, and I don't want to be obligated to a lender in that kind of a circumstance, then, maybe you do need to just save up enough money to be able to pay cash for something. But then again, if things crash, what difference does it really make whether you've got loan or a debt or not? I mean, you're still, if you have, if you decided just to not do anything but save up the money, you're going to be dealing with hardship under those circumstances. But if you also go ahead and purchase something and everything kind of crashes, even through a lender, you're going to have to be dealing with hardships there too. So I've never really taken that as a factor in me deciding, am I going to pay cash or am I not? To me, the only deciding factor was, am I willing to spend 20 years trying to save up enough money to make down payments or make cash purchases, or am I not willing to do that? And do I want to move on my project right now and go ahead and finance it? And to me, it was always go ahead and finance it. Get the best deal you can and go ahead and finance it and get started. Now, we had a track record up to that point of trying to save money, and honestly, after 20 years of being married and raising a family, we'd saved that much. I mean, just nothing. We were living paycheck to paycheck anyway, so it really wasn't going to affect me. I didn't believe whether or not we financed or not. And right now in this market, and this is 2022, early 2022, financing is so good right now and so favorable to, the buyers that, I've got friends that have got long-term 2.5% interest rates on their mortgages and their loans. So, I mean, it's not nothing, but it's darn close. More ice sliding off the roof. It's not nothing, but it's almost nothing. And so, locking in some rates that are, even some of the adjustable rates right now are attractive enough that, even if they maxed out at their adjustment cycles, they would still be good rates. So anyway, you would have to really consider, I guess, what your own personal comfort levels are with having financing. But if you don't have the cash and you want to be able to get started, there's really nothing wrong with going ahead and getting financing. I mean, right now, if you're paying a mortgage on a house anyway, it's no different. You're paying it there. You might be paying it over here instead at a place that you really want to, go to. If you don't have a mortgage right now and you're paying rent, then it kind of makes even more sense, because whatever you do is going to be, for you, not for a landlord. So I would really strongly consider that if you decide that you really just need to, find your dream property and be able to get started on it, as soon as you can without, waiting all that length of time, you're still going to probably have to save up a down payment. But some down payments can actually be pretty reasonable. Right now there's, with kind of residential homestead kind of things, if you're out there and you're buying something with houses and with a house already on it, 10% down is going to get you started on that. I spoke with one of my bankers last fall and did a quick video on that. I'll probably put that down in the comment section also, about the, what insight he can give you as far as, what to look for as you're out looking for land. But yes, paying cash is a great option if you can do it. If you can't, financing is not a bad way to go. We financed a lot of things over the years, and we've gotten to the point now where we are buying some of our properties with cash, but that's not the way it was when we started, and we did okay. Most people will do okay. We will go into more of, how do you start looking for land and how do you kind of set up those first steps at purchasing in the next video. But for now, I hope this provided some value to you. I hope this encouraged you to, if you don't have cash, there's still a pathway to get to where you want to go. You just have to kind of maybe reset your thinking a little bit on, are you willing to work with financing on something and set it up as a long-term purchase? And I think that give that some thought, because I think that will open many, many more doors to you if you don't have the cash to deal with it in the first place. So again, if you find value in the videos, if you could just click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.